What's up, Ranger Nation? It is your boy JB, and we're here this morning with an all-new episode review of Power Rangers Beast Morphers. This is going to be episode number 11, titled Finders Keepers, you guys. So, without further ado, let's get into this episode. It was awesome. Better yet, let's say it got wild. Shout out to Tyler Navarro. So let's go ahead and jump into the episode, guys. All right, you guys. So the episode opens. Now, if we remember from the very last episode of Power Rangers Beast Morphers, Riot Jackson was defeated, which left his ship there with his, his weapons that he's collected from past villains that the Rangers need to find, or Evox, one of the two. So the Rangers are out looking for his ship. So they're split up. So it's Devin, Ravi, and Zoe. I don't know if Nate and Steele were a part of this. They probably were. So like I said, they're out looking for the ship. So, Zoe does end up finding the ship. And Commander Shaw told her, like, hey, Zoe, stay put until the others get there. And then at Grid Battle Force, Commander Shaw and I don't know the young lady's name that works with Commander Shaw that, keeps him up to date with everything. But she noticed there was an intruder that was surrounding where Zoe was. So they told Zoe that there's an intruder. Actually, they told them all that there's an intruder. And once again, Commander Shaw told Zoe to stay put. But Zoe didn't stay put. What Zoe did was Zoe approached his ship, and the ship blew up. So then, the other Rangers do show up. Now, over in the cyber dimension, Scrozzle is looking for the ship as well. And Scrozzle located the ship, but the ship also blew up. So he was like, the ship blew up. He said, it's probably the Rangers. So then, Evox is going to send Blaze and Roxy down there to intercept the Rangers to try to find anything that they can get from their destruction. So also before they go, Scrozzle gives them he gives them Riot Jax's reanimation device. So they do materialize where the ship is, and the first thing that they find is Snide's sword, and they bring Snide back. And Zoe at this point is coming too, and they, Blaze and Roxy scurried off, and they told Snide to stay out of sight. So we're gonna pause there and can move forward. All right, you guys. So remember, I stated that Zoe was told, they were all told about the intruder. So Zoe came to, and she saw the figure that she thought was the intruder, and then she also saw the compliance collar that, like what Riot Jax had on Vargoyle. So Zoe takes the compliance collar and she throws it at, what she thinks is the intruder. So then the others show up, and she's like, that's the intruder. So she calls the intruder, she tells him, come here. And when he turns around, it's Keeper. And Ravi and Nate were like, wait a minute, he looks familiar. And they were like, yeah, and then Ravi said, yeah, from Ranger history class. He says, are you Keeper? And Keeper says, yes. And they're like, Zoe, this is Keeper. He's the mentor of the Dino Charge Rangers. Why would you throw that at him? She said she didn't mean to. She didn't know who she did it before he turned around. So then, they're like, okay, Keeper, we have to get this off of you. We're going to get you back to our base. So Devin is escorting Keeper over to, one of the trucks. So he tells Keeper, you'll be safe in here. He puts Keeper in the truck, and the truck takes off. Now, I'm going to back up just a little bit. So let's move over to where, you remember, I said the ship blew up. So Nate and Steele are looking through the destruction of the ship, and they find some very interesting Ranger history, the villain side. They find Lord Zed. Well, actually, it was Ravi. Yeah, it was Ravi, Nate, and Steele. Because Ravi found Lord Zed's staff. Steele found he found a gold monkey Goldar's sword, and then Nate found Sledge's blaster. I'm like, wow, this is cool. Now, like I said before, the truck sped up and started taking off, and we noticed in the truck it's some Vivics. So the Rangers morph and they follow in behind the Vivics, and then Devin is on cruise, and Zoe and Robbie are on the truck trying to stop the Vivics, and then some more Vivics materialize. So the Rangers are battling with the Vivics, and then one of the portals that we saw in Power Rangers Super Ninja Steel, excuse me, I don't have Rona. So one of the portals opened, and out jumps the Dino Charge Power Rangers. We got Tyler, Sir Ivan of Xandar, Chase, and Coda. They all jump out, and they start battling with the Vivics, and then the Beast Morphers Rangers tell them that Keeper is in that truck. So as they go try to fight, try to get Keeper, they're intercepted by some Triptoids from Dino Thunder. They're intercepted by some putties, and they're also intercepted by some more Vivics. And then we see Blazing Roxy and Snide. They let Keeper out of the truck, and they tell Keeper he's coming with them. Now we know with his compliance collar on, Keeper is going to do whatever they say, even though he knows Snide is his enemy. But let's pause there and move on. I thought it was really cool to see the Triptoids. Haven't saw them in such a long time. It really would have been, I know that this is all based off of the Sentai footage, but it would have been cool to at least see some Z putties and some Tyrannodrones. But that's neither here nor there. Let's move on. Alright, you guys, so back in the cyber dimension, Blaze, Roxy, and Snide return with Keeper. And Evox, they realize that he has a compliance collar on Keeper. They realize that they can use this to their advantage and find out any useful information about the Power Rangers. So Keeper, he starts to tell them about, him and the Inner Gems. And then we see back at Grid Battle Force that, the Rangers are back at Grid Battle Force, and they're looking at the weapons that Ryajax had. Now I took a picture on my television screen because I noticed some of the weapons. And they were going off on Zoe, but they were like, "You lost, Keeper," and Commander Shaw was like, "Yeah, and I told you to stand down." And Zoe was apologetic for what she did. Now, like I said, the weapons, you saw Poisandra's axe, you saw Wretch's axe, you saw Fury's sword, you saw Goldar's sword, you saw Lord Zed's staff, you saw Sledge's gun, and then there was something in the background that really caught my eye by Wretch's axe. Go back and look at it. That was a data card from Power Rangers in Space. Man, it would have been cool if they had, but even with the data cards, I think that was just planted because the data cards no longer existed. The data cards were turned back into the Psychos and Power Rangers in Space. So I thought it was cool to see the data card because it really was a data card, but the weapons, cool to see. So then we see Keeper. So Keeper is talking to Evox, and he's telling him everything about how the Rangers, created their own Zord. Was that was that Megazord that Shelby created when she was looking for Dr. Runga? I don't remember the Megazord that she created, and I was just recently watching that episode, maybe a few months ago, before I moved into my new apartment. But yeah, he was telling them everything that he knows. Okay, so Keeper was telling them everything that he knows, and then Evox took Keeper's staff. I'm like, oh no, that's not going to be good. So then, they call the Rangers because they have a plan set up. So what their plan is they're going to tell the Rangers, they're really trying to get a hold of the Inner Gems at this point. So they call the Rangers. They tell the Rangers, hey, we don't have any use for Keeper. What we want is the weapons that you guys have. So we'll do a trade. And Commander Shaw agrees, and they're like, why would you do that? She's like, Keeper knows too much, so we have to get him back. And I'm going to pause here and move on. Now, the one thing that I do want to say and commend Hasbro for with this episode, because I know that this scene that we're going into now is footage from Super Sentai, but they didn't use that much Sentai footage. They used more American footage, because we see the Rangers and they go to this warehouse where, you know, Scrozzle, Snide, and Keeper are, and they hand over the weapons. And Scrozzle, he weasels his way out, leaving Snide there, and Snide tells Keeper to go to the side, and Keeper says, as you wish. So then we get our morph, and it is an actual morph sequence of the Beast Morphers Rangers and the Dino Charge Rangers. And so, you know, Commander Shaw calls the Beast Morphers Rangers, and she tells them that there's a Gigadrone in the city, so they have to leave to go fight the Gigadrone, leaving Chase, Riley, Sir Ivan, and Tyler to battle with Snide. Now, Snide thinks he got them right where he wants them, and they're like, oh, no, you don't, because Tyler calls for who? Shelby and Riley. So Shelby and Riley jump through the portal, and, you know, they start to battle with Snide. Now, in the cyber dimension, you know, Evox and Scrozzle noticed that, you know, the Rangers are getting the best of him, so they were like, you know what, let's send him some help. So Scrozzle takes, you know, Sledge's gun, his blaster, and reanimates him with Sledge Cam 2. It's a bomb! Wait, I'm alive. It was hilarious to me. So then, you know, they tell him to go, that, you know, they want him to go get some inner gems. He says, well, I need my team. So Scrozzle says, no problem. So then we do see the Beast Morphers Rangers. They're battling with the Gigadrone to stop the Gigadrone from getting the Morphex energy, which they're successful. And then we see the Dino Charge Rangers, they're still battling with Snide. Now, while they're battling Snide, in pops his crew, Poisandra, Wretch, Curio, Fury, and Sledge. They all show up. And the Rangers are battling with each and every one of them. Now, the one Ranger that I'm gonna give a bit of a side eye to is Chase. Chase, how are you getting beat up by Curio? Curio doesn't even have a weapon. Because I was looking up like, wait, Curio is beating up on Chase? Okay, I get it, no problem. So then the Beast Morphers Rangers, they return, and, you know, they blast at the crew, and they, you know, Zoe goes and saves Keeper. So then they head back to Grid Battle Force. At Grid Battle Force, they are able to get the compliance collar off of Keeper. And once again, like I said before, Zoe, she's apologizing to Keeper, and Keeper tells her he understood. And then, you know, him and the Dino Charge Rangers went back to their world, and Keeper left. So that is actually where the episode ended, you guys. So again, next week, no new episode. It'll be the clip show of the Halloween episode, which I don't understand why they're doing that when Halloween falls on a Saturday. But it is what it is. So that's gonna wrap it up for me today, Ranger Nation. Overall, I enjoyed this episode. Now I know that people with the international spoiler side wasn't too happy with some of these episodes, but I think they're pretty good to me. So, and at this point, we have not even had a filler episode. So pretty good. But that's going to wrap it up for me today, you guys. As always, do me a favor. Stay safe out there. Take care of yourselves. Stay hydrated. Stay warm or cool wherever it is. Wear your mask and wash your hands. And until the next one, which will be in 2 weeks, you guys, stay safe, Ranger Nation, and I will see you guys later. Bye.